Now that the laying of the clean water plumbing system has been completed, we now turn our attention to the septic tank.
So here we have the stones for the soakaway. They were brought in recently. We collected these just outside the yard, less than a kilometer away, maybe 500 meters. So we gathered them and they were heaped up before a local transportation service came to pick them up. So these are equivalent to 3 loads of a 2-ton truck. And they are supposed to go into the soakaway of the septic tank system. So the smallest ones will be on top with the biggest stones at the bottom. The lining, some lining will be put to the soakaway, plastic lining on the 4 sides, but the bottom will be just ground to allow water to escape and reintroduced into the ecosystem. And it will just seep into the ground and go to the, I suppose, to the water table. Yeah, it's quite a bit of work to put this together. They'll be picked up one by one and arranged into the soakaway, bottom up. And we hope we will not need any more loads, but if they're not enough, we'll just have to collect some more and bring them in. So they're just about maybe 5 or 6 meters away from the soakaway, so that it's easy to pick them up and drop them into the hole. Just next to the stones, we have the river sand. This was also brought in a couple of days ago. What's interesting about this river sand is that it is called, in building circles, it is called washed river sand, which is supposed to be of a higher quality than any other ordinary river sand, because it doesn't have any mud mixture in it. It's just, one would say, pure sand. It has been separated from the mud. So it's supposed to be a higher grade, which actually costs more in urban areas. But here is just a simple natural resource that we get locally. So it's interesting that someone else somewhere else would pay a lot of money for it, because it produces high quality mixtures when doing concrete. But here it's just a natural resource available. There's not even any grading that is done in terms of price. We get it so inexpensively. We have about 3 loads here of 2 tons each that were brought in by the local transporter, the one who did the stones as well. So it's our local guy that we use to bring in these things. I also found this interesting stone. It's a pebble actually, which has been smoothened out as it was rolling in the, I suppose, in the water, and the sand did its work to make it very smooth. So it was right in there in the sand. Yeah, so it's just a couple of meters also away from the construction site of the septic tank, so it is easy to just haul it in there. So as we've mentioned before, this contributes to a lower cost of building because of these local materials that we collect locally.
This mortar mixture is for the brickwork, which shall begin shortly. The concrete slab has already been done. We need about 8 bags of the strongest grade cement to build this tank. Recent cement shortages on the Zim market lingered over the project. To make the septic tank impervious, a product called Impermo is used into the mortar at a ratio of 1 kg to 50 kgs of cement. In my book, as long as there's water, laundry should not be left to accumulate. I now must tackle it before sunset to catch the remaining sun for it to dry. I always rely on my best buddy and friend to help with certain manly loads. This load is one of them. To make life just the way we want it to be out here, we plan to have water taps placed in different points in the yard. This washing line is temporarily here. There'll be a proper location for it, possibly next to the house on the kitchen side. It has been of great service to anyone working here with some laundry to take care of. Since mid-morning, there has been some progress on the brickwork. The final product will be a 1.2 by 2 by 3 meter septic tank. When it rains here, or when there's dew in the morning, it becomes very muddy, especially now at this point where we haven't quite done the landscaping work yet. So I had to look for a solution to help prevent too much mud getting into the house. Found this handmade rubber mat. I've been told that it was made using tires. It's actually quite heavier than it looks. So I believe that would be a good solution for the mud, preventing mud getting into the house. I know it's still a construction site and it's bound to be dirty inside, but we're just trying to minimize the amount of mud and dirt, especially when it rains. That mud is just becomes a big mess. So that rubber mat will help prevent that, and I think it's It's a good little investment. As the last item on the menu for the day, we turn our attention to some groundwork. It is now time to prepare the ground for some lawn planting. We had long identified this section of the yard as a good candidate for some beautiful looking lawn. We are setting the ball rolling. First, we need to mark out the area that we are going to put the lawn. There was a lack of communication on our part. When we arrived, we found this area planted with maize, which had already germinated. The lawn could not wait, as we wanted it to take advantage of the rainy season. Our caretaker used a skillful method to transplant the young maize plants to a different location.
We're just doing a guesstimate using a feet to calculate 25 by 25 square meters. We finally got some
5 by 5 square meters.
Okay, 5 by 5 square meters, which is 25 square meters.
Yeah.
So we bought 1,000 plugs Kikuyu from Harare at a local nursery. So we brought those, which we are going to run a test here to see how that goes. We gave a landscaper that we know a call just to get a rough idea on what we must do. So let's see how it goes.
Yeah.
What's next?
As you probably aware now, we love being hands-on with everything that's happening here at the homestead. So the lawn project is just one of them. It's getting to end of day now, so we are just going to start off by trying to clear the land, this area, as much as we can in preparation for the lawn. We're not going to be able to finish everything right now. We have decided to take it in over time, over some days. So today we start the initial clearing. First thing in the morning tomorrow, we're going to come and continue with the clearing until we are happy and satisfied with how the area is, and then we plant. So yeah, before it's dark, we just need to get started.
So we've tried to do something, not yet perfect. Well, I don't know if it will ever get perfect really, but we just want to have the ground as level as possible. We're expecting a lot of mistakes, but we're gonna call it a day with this. All these depressions must be covered tomorrow. And let's see what Kikuyu will do right here. Good morning from the homestead. Beautiful morning here. We are just getting started with the first item on the agenda for the day. We're picking up from where we left yesterday concerning the lawn preps. So we are continuing to just clear the ground and get it as even as possible in preparation for the planting of the lawn. Also continuing today is the septic tank construction. The builders are busy at work already, and we hope to have that concluded today. In fact, the builder, I spoke to him end of day yesterday, and he was projecting that by end of this day you would have made much progress as far as to the extent of having the septic tank plastered and even sealed up. But yeah, we'll see how that goes. It didn't look probable in my opinion, but I'll be happy to be proven wrong. So this is where we are. A few more things on the agenda to do, but yeah, let's get started.
We are starting this morning with digging the area to loosen up the soil before making it even for planting. During a summer like this, to get anything done here, we just need early mornings before it gets very hot. So this is it for now. We are happy with this land preparation for the lawn plugs. What comes next would be planting the lawn. We're not doing it immediately, but later on. But so far, this looks good. We have high hopes that this is going to turn out great, and once this patch works out, we're going to add some more lawn plugs for the rest of the space. It certainly pays off to wake up early. The brickwork is advanced, with about 3 courses left to be added, so the final structure rises above the ground to prevent rainwater flooding. The builders have also done some backfilling of the sides of the original hall. The protruding pipe connects the house system to the septic tank. For the systems to work as it should, the plumber and the builder work together here. The last few brickwork courses that were left are now done. The next stage is the plastering of the walls of the tank. The builder is working on the mortar for this purpose. After plastering, wooden planks shall be laid on top of the septic tank, followed by a mesh of steel rods of a certain diameter. A concrete mixture will then be poured on top to create a super strong slab. The plastering mixture under preparation here contains cement, impermeable, and pit sand. The builder is determined to start and finish on the plastering today. He has a few hours of sunlight left.
So there's a portion of the field that is next to the house. The house is up there. It's just down here. Maybe it's some, I don't know, 10 by 18 meters. Right now there's some maize. This is November. There's some maize that has been planted here by our caretaker. He's hoping to use the rains for this, but we're just passing through here, and we are just thinking that probably we're going to put some commercial trees such as macadamia trees here, because you don't need a lot of them to produce a commercially viable, to run a commercially viable field. So yeah, we can fit quite a number here, at least more than 20, according to the minimum numbers that are recommended by the Agricultural Extension Services, that are commercially viable. So yeah, I think we are getting somewhere in terms of just making a decision on what to put here. Next to it will be the banana plantation just down here, but yeah, this spot could be going to some trees that have got high in demand fruit.
So this side has got nice big ones. This is tree number 2. We'll probably name them since we have 5 of these in here. So we'll name them mazhanje, I don't know, 1, 2 or something. But anyway, for today, this is tree number 2, and looks like we're a bit late to the party, but we're still looking.
Anything at all? Nothing. Oh, everything.
This tree has got big ones.
Mm.
Be careful. Should I follow that side?
Yeah.
I guess that's all for today. I'm still looking on the way out. Okay, so we're heading out. This is what we got for the 5 p.m. What is it? Foraging, mazhanje pickup or picking. In the morning we got round about the same quantity, and yeah, so we're just getting the hang of it, that you need to come and check morning, afternoon and end of day like this, but because we had to be up and about today, we didn't manage to do the afternoon or the mid-morning one properly. It was just a very early morning one we were just chancing. But yeah, they do fall. Pick them up, eat and enjoy some. I can't wait. I love this side of the tree, of the property, because these big ones, look at these. These are from this tree. So tasting time. I'm going to taste them up there as soon as I wash them. Really good. It's so sweet. And I'm not just being biased, but they really are very nice. This morning, high on the agenda is to complete the lawn work. We must finish what we started before it gets too hot to work. Now that the ground is decently leveled, we need to start planting. We were told to space the planting by some 15 centimeters. For faster spreading, we shall also attempt to plant the lawn plugs in a diamond-like pattern. As the heat starts to pick up, we are quite advanced with the planting. I shall soon take leave to go and do my morning foraging routine. I hope to gather a substantial amount of mazhanje to take back to Harare. Put these away. Oh, another one there. Maybe I'll go around. Just as I was going around, One fell. So I wanted to pick another one at this side. So I wasn't expecting to get much. I was expecting to get just 5 or so. That's why I didn't even bring the dish. But I actually got a lot more than 5. And some are even in my pocket. Yeah, so good harvesting for, this is about 7-8 a.m. A mesh is now being created before pouring the concrete. We needed a generator in order to cut the metal rods to size. To make a mesh, the steel rods are tied where they are intersecting using tying wire.
So here we are with the septic tank. We have done, the tank is basically ready, so they're going to pour concrete on top here and then cut out the manhole access where the manhole cover will go. Then after that we're going to work on the soakaway. Only water will go through to the soakaway. So stones are yet to be, the plastic lining and stones are yet to be added to the soakaway. But the septic tank is almost ready. Time to throw the cat among the pigeons. Yeah, probably this will put some more wind into the sails of those that are thinking in this direction. It's just a review of, a personal review of what it means to be urban. What is it that drew people to come to urban areas or to go to urban areas? A couple of things come to mind: electricity, water, jobs, factories, office work, the post office, maybe health, yeah, banking, for sure. So if you look at that list, if you are to tick off the things that are still relevant or that are still important for you to be, or let me say that are still valid enough reasons for you being urban, among that list, what would remain? Very few items. Okay, very few things will still remain on that list. So what does that mean? You know, in as far as people who are thinking about going remote, leaving the urban, or maybe living in the periphery of the urban, or even going completely remote somewhere in the rural areas far away from the city. It means that decentralization is here. It's possible for you to live away from the city and really enjoy the benefits of being out here, where there's a lot of air, where there's a lot of tranquility, where you just enjoy life for what it is. You know, because if you consider all the things that we used that people used to follow to urban centers, they are highly decentralized now. For example, here in Zimbabwe, just about every house in the leafy suburbs of Harare, or anywhere else in urban areas in Zim, has got solar panels on it, which means people have got alternative means of getting energy, and they are no longer relying on state, utilities for this. So it means that if you can have that there in the urban, you can have it anywhere else, really, because as you know, there's no limit to solar energy in most parts of sub-Saharan Africa and Africa in general. So banking, when did you last go to the bank? You can spend the entire year without going to the bank. Maybe when you need to go and pick up your card, probably that's when you really actually need to visit the bank. But everything else is digital, and most banks are actually driving people to transact digitally because it reduces their costs. It reduces their their staff count, their head count in these companies. So a lot of things that we used to follow to urban areas have been democratized, which means that it's really possible to carve out a life that you desire, away from the chaos, away from the confusion that you find in urban areas. I mean, talk about the traffic, talk about, for us here in Zim, places like Harare, talk about the litter. It's just a mess. I mean, it's unbelievable. So when you come out here, you really feel that you are living. You really feel that you are focused. You really feel that your mind is at rest and you can do things and be highly productive. In this age of fast internet, the buzzword being Starlink, I think it's gonna be everywhere. Really, it's just a matter of time. So those who are thinking about going rural, going remote, away from the urban, I think there are solid reasons to pursue that life. There are solid reasons to pursue that goal, because that's just how things are gonna be. Remote work is everywhere across the world. Companies themselves there are new set of companies that are driving it. Of course, some will take longer to get on board, but just basically the general direction where things are going. It's interesting that here in Zim, there are so many teachers who are teaching kids remotely using the basic tools such as WhatsApp. And these kids are excelling in their exams. So it shows you that even a teacher, somebody who had to go to a physical building to teach at a school, does not really need to do that. There's just so much market to teach students remotely. It's convenient, it's scalable, and things like that. So I believe that it's possible to carve out a life that you desire if you really want to be in a remote place out of the urban jungle, as they call it. So yeah, ourselves, after some 20 plus years, myself living in Harare itself, you just feel like you see things changing. You see that most of the things that are happening with the infrastructure, with the utilities, are not recoverable at all. It's just things are just going down the drain. So why not just be somewhere where there's a lot of air and enjoy life? Yeah. So food for thought.
Finally, we are pouring the last wheelbarrows of concrete. Once this is done, for the next few days, water shall be poured on top to help the concrete cure. As it stands, the service slew that has been set up in a basic fashion is now functional and can now be used any time of the day. The septic tank is now open for business.
you.